Hey, it's Kirsty. Welcome back to my channel, Strategy and Some. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me this week as we take another look under the bonnet of your business. See what I did there? See what I did there? Mr. Car, bonnet. Anyway, moving on. Last week, I introduced you to the concept of stakeholder mapping. And stakeholder mapping is a opportunity for you as a business owner to get yourself above your business in a bird's eye position, having a look down and having a look at who all the key players are that are having some form of impact or influence on your business, whether that be day to day, whether that be strategically, whether that be as a supplier to you, whether that be as a client to you, because each of those people, as you will have discovered from last week's exercise, have a role to play in your business. So just a recap, we did that. We then moved on to the stakeholder quadrant. So in the quadrant, you will have taken all of those roles that you've assessed internally and externally, and you will have put them into the quadrant, and you will have had your keep satisfied, your manage closely, your keep informed, and your monitors. And you will have gone through your business and you will have moved people into that quadrant. And then we built it out even further where you could take those stakeholders, you could put their contact details onto a simple spreadsheet or form or crib sheet. You could identify where they sat in the quadrant, and you could assign somebody from within your business to look after them. Now, for those of you that are still solopreneurs, flying solo business owners, however you want to call yourself, I totally get that you would likely be the person in the driving seat managing all those relationships at the moment. But you still need that crib sheet, because as you grow and scale and you get more people on board, that will change. And then what we did was we looked at, or I asked you to go away and have a look at what your comms plan, so your communications plan, might be with those stakeholders that sit in those quadrants. So what I asked you to do was take each of those quadrants individually, give yourself a comms plan for your stakeholders that are internal in those quadrants and your stakeholders that are external in those quadrants. So you may have looked at that. You may have thought, I've got no idea what I would like that to be or what I would like that to look at. So don't worry, I've got you back, because this week I'm going to go through a couple of more things that you can do to build out that picture even further. So we've done the sort of prioritizing or mapping your stakeholders and putting them into the quadrant and thinking about how you're going to communicate with them. So what I'm going to ask you to do this week is a bit of a quick win and a bit of an exercise, is to pick one of those key relationships. So if you have somebody in the quadrant of keep satisfied or manage closely, I would pick somebody who is sitting in one of those quadrants today, and over this coming week, proactively try and nurture that relationship. And what I mean by that is a simple gesture. So a simple reach out and say, hi, how you doing? Haven't heard from you for a while, or haven't spoken for a while. It could be a hey, we've just worked together on this. I'd love some feedback. Or it could be, I've been thinking of doing X, Y, and Z. Would love to get your thoughts on that. So it's just about giving some personalization and a bit of encouragement and a bit of nurturing to one of those key relationships. Secondly, I would like you to have a look at leveraging some of those relationships. So what we tend to do as solopreneurs is we can often, filming on Zoom and things fly in. We can often overlook collaboration with stakeholders, and it means that sometimes we're missing out on growth. So this will take you or require you to have a look at some of those external stakeholders. So some key external stakeholders of influence. Is there somebody in that ecosystem of people externally? Because don't forget, your competitors and your industry peers should sit somewhere in your stakeholder mapping. Is there someone within that ecosystem that you think you could do some kind of collab with, that you could produce something with? And I'm not talking all singing and dancing. I'm talking very small, low level, low effort, mutually beneficial collaboration. Would it be, do you want to appear on my podcast? Would it be, I'd love to just have what's called in industry a fireside chat. You and me, I'm just going to put us on Zoom, and this is the topic of the week. Would it be one of your suppliers, maybe? So let's think about who that could be. Could it be so if you have like a tech OBM in your business or somebody that or a tech VA or somebody that's in the background of your business supporting you as an outsourced or freelance or in an outsourced or freelance capacity supporting you with the tech, could you invite them on to do a joint newsletter with you or a joint something or quote them about a new piece of tech that's coming out and why it's good for the business? So something that's collaborative, something that might get them mentioned in your collateral or vice versa. And it's just about raising awareness one of each other, re-establishing a relationship that it's mutually beneficial to the both of you. And it's a visibility piece for both of you with no really significant time or money investment. You're not asking each other of anything other than maybe 5 minutes of your time, a quick quote, small things, but it's about that relationship building. It's about specifically going out of your way to let somebody in your ecosystem know that you recognize they're a stakeholder in your business and you are proactively asking them to come and give you something so that you can give them something in return, a shout out, a mention, or whatever that might be. So that is the second thing I'd like you to do over this week. And when you do these things, I'd love for you to let me know how you get on. If it makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, if it makes you feel, oh, heck of uncomfortable, then I'm here for all the feedback. Because I want to know what it is that you really need to know in your business. Like if some of this stuff is not landing for you and it's too much, and actually you've got a smaller fish to fry, but that is more important to you, then I want to know because the content that I'm creating, the content that I'm putting out here has to be valuable to you as my audience. So I might think that you need some of this, but if you turn around and tell me that you don't, what you really need is X, Y, and Z, then you can bet your bottom dollar that I will then create that content for you. So this is a two-way thing. The more that you get involved, the more you sort of feedback, the more you tell me what you do and you don't like, the better the content that I'm putting out there and the better the information that I'm sharing with you is going to land and help you. I have 20 years of experience building strategies, being strategic, being a logical thinker, looking at the bigger picture, being commercially minded, doing all of that stuff. I have a whole vault of information to share with you. I want to meet you where you're at. I want to give you stuff that makes sense. I want to give you stuff that makes you make a difference in your business today. And to do that, I'm going to ask one thing of you moving forward. Let me know what that is. Like if you've got ideas for content, if you've got ideas for videos, if you've got things that you want to know, let me know. I'm more than happy to create that and put it in here to help you. Anyway, that was a whole tangent that I wasn't expecting. But the third thing, I would like you, with your stakeholders, to think about that continuous improvement journey. So, when I said to you last week, create a comms plan of how you're going to speak to these people or how you're going to communicate things out with them, this is part of it. Continuous improvement is part of growth and scale. You're continually making things better by always going one step further, one step further, one step further, and doing things well. And it matters because, again, if you're on your own in your business, you need to keep improving, but it's really hard to know how to do that without feedback. And actually, I've just unconsciously segued into the third thing, but there you go. That's just life, right? And so, gathering really simple feedback and data, because they're all data points, feedback's data points, everything that comes back to you backwards and forwards, emails, reviews, audits, social media, it's all data. So gathering all of this data, simple insights from your stakeholders, it's really going to help you, one, improve the relationships, two, improve the communication, three, know what to send them and what they want to know and what they don't want to know. Four, it's going to help you provide even better delivery and service. It's going to help you build products that actually are wanted and needed out there. It's going to help you be more profitable in the long run because you will have built every time you do something, you're sense checking or you're asking for critical feedback in order for you to do things better the next time. So I want you to go out and ask for feedback at a critical, and that's the key word here, touch point. So whether that is with a client that you've maybe just wrapped up with, that a client that you're halfway through with, that a client that you are doing a single point project with, a client that you maybe just onboarded, I want you to go back to them and it's got to be a key touch point. It can't just be a, hey, how you doing? I'd like some feedback because it's got to be meaningful. And I would just do literally like a small 3 question survey, a quick email or a quick conversation, and keep it simple but direct. Like control the narrative, as in you're giving them a frame of reference of what you want to talk about, and you're giving them it's a very quick, it's 3 questions, it's a quick email, or even you could record a little voice note and send it to them, or a little Loom video and send it to them, making it really personal and asking the question. So the 3 things that I want you to do, I'm going to recap, is I want you to nurture one key relationship, reach out to somebody that you haven't spoke to for a while, and just say hi to them, ask them a question, ask them for just nurture the relationship. Just yeah, actually just do that. Number one, just go out to somebody you haven't spoke to that's in your ecosystem for a little while and just ask them how they are. Say that you're catching up with people, what's happening in your world, things, whatever, just a very short outreach. um Second one, I want you to then reach out to somebody different in your ecosystem externally. So this will be one of your competitors or somebody that you has a complementary business but is in your ecosystem. Maybe it might be a client of yours that you can see as a complementary service or system. Reach out to them and or the tech VA that was the example that I gave. Reach out to them and propose a low effort, low cost, or no cost would be better, mutually beneficial collab. So that could be a 5 minute fireside chat, appearing on your podcast, a quote from them in one of your emails about something that's industry specific. So that is increasing visibility for both of you at no cost whatsoever. It's a win-win. And then the final thing is creating that continuous improvement cycle. So I want you to pick another stakeholder, and I think for this one actually it should maybe be a client, um, and think about a critical touch point within something that you're doing with them at the moment, and then go out to them with a Loom, a voice note, um, a message with 3 questions, and ask them for feedback. And then it's 2 things. You're getting feedback about something that's relevant to you at this very moment in time. And it's also demonstrating to the stakeholders that you value their input. So I said this at the beginning of the last video, that relationships are the currency of all business. And this is why the stakeholder piece is so important. So whilst it might seem trivial to you, if it's not something that you've given attention to previously, whilst it might seem that it's more things for you to do, these are 3 things that are going to literally take you 5 minutes each to do, because initially all you're doing is finding the stakeholder that you want to do these 3 things with, and then you are going to reach out to them and pose the questions. That's it. That's all I want you to do this week. I told you it was going to be short and sweet. I will be back next week with some more general chat or exercises, or if I get feedback in the meantime, maybe it'll be something that you guys really want to see. Sorry, I shouldn't use that word. Maybe it'll be something that you really want to see. And as a person who lives in a continuous improvement cycle, This is what I want. Like, I want to be creating content for you that makes a difference, that you can watch, and then straight away in your business you can feel the impact of that, or personally, because there's a lot of things that we touch on that are about your personal awareness as well. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going. That's when we know it's the end of the video. Have a great week. As usual, all of my contact details are in the channel information. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you might have, and I will see you on the other side. Bye for now.